Hey everybody. Hi guys. How you doing? How's it going? Welcome. I'm glad you guys are all here, and I'm doing a little bit of moving things around like I typically do, so that way I can see everything on my screen and I can answer your questions when they come through, like always. All right, so how you guys doing? Welcome today. Today is day 10 of the 12 days of research giveaway. Yay! I am so excited, and once again I am happy to be able to do this thanks to some wonderful companies out there who are sponsoring these episodes. And because they're sponsoring these episodes, I'm able to give you guys some wonderful, I guess you could call them thank you gifts for all of the great things that you have done in supporting me on my channel, on my website, on social media. So I really appreciate it, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to do something like this for you guys. Before I forget, down below are all of the links to everything I'm going to be talking about this evening, including the links to all of my social media sites, my website, and also, of course, the registration link down below that you guys can click on to register for tonight's giveaway. And hi, Melanie, how are you doing? She's doing good. Glad you're doing good. Good to hear. Glad you're here today. So what we are going to talk about today is a series of books that are from Arcadia. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Arcadia Publishing Company, but Arcadia Publishing Company has been around for many years, and I believe they have over 8,500 books in print at least. I know they have a large collection, and a lot of their books that they have, they cover a wide array of topics. Everything from focusing on a town itself or community through a time period, like they might focus on farming in Nebraska, or they might just focus on Nebraska itself, the history of Nebraska. So they have a lot of different books that they offer, architecture, sports. They have, I used to have some more that were sitting around here. So most of their books in the past, a lot of them were black and white, and then they moved up to some of them that are colored, books on color pages. Hi Brenda, how are you? Glad you made it. They also have a few books I know they do on postcards and the historical significance of the postcards, and and those are really neat because you can look at the pictures that are on those postcards and hear the stories behind those photographs that are on those cards. But tonight I wanted to do something a little different, and I guess you could say I just had a moment now where I forgot the name of the TV show during the holiday season that I always like, Ebenezer Scrooge. There you go. I always liked watching Ebenezer Scrooge, and when these books came across and I got a look at them, I thought this is perfect because, you know, it's seasonal, so to speak, if it's in that area. Plus, there's a piece of history that's with it, and it comes from Arcadia and the history, and so I thought this all will really work really well together. So there were 3 books out of this series. Now, in the series that they have that's called Haunted America, there are 50 books in this series. Now, the link to Arcadia Publishing site is down below, and then I also have links down below directly to each of these individual books, so you can read a little bit more on these books. So, real quick, I'll show you. This one here is Civil War. Let's see, can we see it? War Ghosts of Sharpsburg, and this is in Maryland. This takes place in Maryland. And then we have the Revolutionary Ghost in Connecticut, and then last but not least, Civil War Ghost in Southwest Missouri. Okay, so I'm curious, have any of you that are watching right now, have any of you ever read any of these books, or that I just showed you, or any that are in this series by chance? If so, let me know down in the comments below. I'm curious to know if you guys have read these books or not. And also, just so you know, I believe there might be an author or 2 of these books who are going to be online here, who are going to be joining us a little later on. So if you have questions about any of the information that they provide in the books, I know that they will be more than happy to answer some of those questions. So this is really fun. I like this. I like doing this. So this one on the Civil War ghost. This one is written by Mark B. I keep looking over because I have it written over here on the side, so I don't have to. Here, we'll put it up here over my face. This one's written by Mark P. Brugh and Julia Stinson. Bureau. They're husband and wife, and he studied Civil War history for about 30 years, and she found her love for history due to her father, who was a respected historian in the National Park Service. In the book here, you're going to find that they'll take you on a guided tour that starts around 1862, and they'll take you through a tour of the things that happened during that time period. Plus, they will also talk to you about some of the paranormal experiences that people are having in that community surrounding this time period. There are stories of a little drummer boy that's heard, and there are stories of a gentleman. Oh, well, no, the name of the drummer boy is Charlie King, and you can also they spoke with some individuals that also could hear Confederate footsteps as they were walking around, and the spotting of two little girls that are playing in the stream. And they offer the name of the two little girls that are seen in the stream, because the story is that these two girls were separated by the war during that time, the Confederate and the Union. And so one family was Confederate, the other one was Union. So these two little girls who were best friends, they were separated, and they were no longer allowed to be playmates anymore. As you can imagine, during that time, that was probably pretty common to see something like that. Not only just friends, but also you see families that were torn apart. So I think it's really neat. It gives you a unique perspective on a lot of different areas, a lot of different platforms when you're looking at books like this, because I like the idea that in all three of them, they throw in some historical significance that are in there. They also throw in some names that are in there. So you can see that they've done some research, not only on the historical event that took place, but also some of those members of the community that were there. So I have not read through all of the books. I've just glanced through them because these are your books. So I know some are really sticklers about having the binding bent and stuff, and I don't want to do that. And this is for you guys. This isn't for me. But if whoever it is that wins this, I want you to share with us. Come back to the channel and send me a message. You can send me an instant message and let me know what you thought of the books and some information that you learned that you think we would like to hear about here on the channel. Let me look over here. I got a few things that popped up here. I've got Kathleen who popped up and says, this is cool, Southwest Missouri, wondering where. Oh, well, you will find out here in a little bit, because I'm going to be getting to that book here in a little bit, and that's one of them that I'm hoping that the author will be able to join us a little bit later on and share some additional information that she wrote about in this book. And then I have Kathy. I haven't read any of these books, but I do remember Tales from My Grandmother. Oh, that's neat, Kathy. Let me know, Kathy, what book it is that you're referring to. If it's tales that you from your grandmother that you heard from, which one of these books? Was it the Connecticut, Missouri, or the one here that's in Maryland? Let us know. I'm curious to know which one you have that connection with. So in this one here, the two young girls, just so you guys know, I did write down the names of the two young girls. It's the last names are Miller and Kretzer, K-R-E-T-Z-E-R. So I like the stories that go with this, and those of you who know me know that I like stories like this. I like the paranormal and the paranormal reading, along with the historical and the genealogy all coming together. I find it very, very interesting. I'm curious, how many of you, do you guys like that too? Do you guys find things like that interesting also? I'm going to... Stacy's wanting to know over on Facebook if there are any pictures in the book, and there are photographs that are in the book. You have, like here's an actual photograph of Mountain View Cemetery, and it has an explanation down below. There are some other photographs that are, as far as in this book go, yeah, you can see a Union let's see, a ball, oh, well, one of the balls went through the wall when the, one of the rounds went through the wall. I can't even think of the word right now. I am so sorry. It went through the side of the building. So there are some really neat pictures that are in this one. And I'll show you some of the pictures in the other ones also so you can see. Kathleen says she pre-reads her books before giving them away. And, oh, and I can use that cool mouse scanner and scan pages and preserve the binding. She's referring to a scanner that I talked about yesterday. So you guys, for you that had caught that one and didn't know what that was about, please, when this video is over, go back and take a look at what it was that I shared yesterday on the live stream. And you can hear more about the scanner that she's talking about. It's a pretty cool scanner. Okay, back to our books from Arcadia Publishing. This one here is The Revolutionary War Ghost of Connecticut. And this one, I'm pulling up my thing here, so I have my little cheat sheet. This one was written by Courtney McInvale, and Courtney is she's from Connecticut. She left Connecticut and then decided to come back and settle down back home in Connecticut where she grew up at, and she always had a connection there. And reading a little bit about her background, her biography, her story, because she actually is a descendant of numerous, and I'm saying numerous, Revolutionary War patriots. So she found a huge unique connection going back home, and then finding her love for history and then connecting it with the paranormal. Now, I think it does state in here that she does do paranormal work, that she also has a tour group that she takes around to discuss some of the paranormal activity, and that she also, and I think it listed in here that she's also a medium. So she does mediumistic, I think I'm saying that correctly, work where she will talk to spirits to try and get additional information to validate what it is that she's hearing. And then it sounds like in here she then turns around to go back and go do the research to validate that information. So she does talk about, there's one gentleman in here she talks about in particular. His name is Nathan Hale. And Nathan is, they believe that he continuously comes back there to one of the buildings there in, let me see, Lessons in New London. He comes back to give lessons there in one of the classrooms. She also talks in here about others who have been in the community who say that they believe that George Washington even comes to pay occasional visits there when at the Fairfield's, I think it's the Fairfield Sun Tavern. So you can imagine, we're talking a tavern. If you listen to some of the paranormal, if you read some of these paranormal books, I would be one that would think, if you're talking about a tavern, you're going to have a lot of activity going on, because there's activity going on when people are alive in the tavern. Can't even imagine the activity going on when they're on the other side, visiting there. Real quick here, let me see. I've got a lot of messages and things coming up over here on the side. Oh, good. Guess what? Lisa is with us. Lisa Livington-Martin. She is the one that wrote the book on Southwest Missouri. So, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us. I know we're going to have some questions for you. And, Brenda says she's getting scared. I don't want you to get scared. There's no reason to get scared. Right. Okay. And thank you, Lisa, for letting her know there's nothing to be scared about. So back to the Connecticut ghost. Whoops, my thing moved up and down. I was just talking about the tavern and the different things that you can imagine that happen in the tavern. In this book also, you guys were asking about photographs on Facebook, and here's photographs of a map that she includes in the book. There are cemetery markers, burial sites that are included, and of course some of the buildings that are included in the book. Excuse me. So this is on the one on Connecticut. So do you guys have any questions so far? Are we doing okay? We're still doing good on time, thank goodness. Oh, and great. I actually have Lisa right now who just answered a question that Kathleen had earlier, and I mentioned it. Kathleen was wanting to know what areas in Missouri that the Southwest Missouri book covers, and Lisa just let us know that the areas that it covers in Southwest Missouri, most of them are based in Joplin. Now, I do know she was talking about, there's mention of here in Greene County, which is down around Springfield, Missouri. So Lisa, let me know. I thought I had saw something in here on Springfield, Missouri, in that area, down in there. So, I hope that answers that answers your question, Kathleen. That's good. Also, I have another question over here on Facebook. Somebody is wanting to know if, when they go on, can they purchase all 3 books or all 50 books at one time? I went on the Arcadia website, and I did not see where you could purchase all 50 books. They were individual purchase. And as far as grouping, like what I've got for you guys on the 3, that's not even something that you can do. I just by chance ended up getting 3 of the books. So it's not in a group. And then she wanted to know the prices of the books. And lucky I pulled up, now you can purchase the books, like I said, the link to Arcadia is down below. You can purchase the links there, or you can go to the links directly to the books that I put down there, and those are directly done through Amazon. And it looks like the books are going to run about $13 a piece basically on the books. And if you want later, I'll go over some of them with you and tell you some of the other names if you're curious to where some of the other books are focusing on. There's one here I saw on the Finger Lakes of New York. I don't think I'd go anywhere that's called Finger Lakes. That's just me personally. I do not think I would do that. Kathleen thanked Lisa for her information on the area of Joplin that the Southwest Missouri book covers. And it does not cover, oh, she was letting me know. Lisa was answering my question in reference to Springfield. And no, it does not cover, it covers all of Southwest Missouri. Oh, the team is based in Joplin, is where her paranormal team is based at, which the name of the team that Lisa's with, I guess I should go on ahead and let you guys know. We're talking about this book here, War Ghosts of Southwest Missouri. Lisa is with a paranormal group that is based out of Joplin, Missouri, and the name of the group is Paranormal Science Lab. Lisa is also an attorney and has a love for history, and she's the co-leader of the Paranormal Science Lab that I just mentioned, the group. And there's information about that group here in the book, so if you guys have any questions about that organization, you can find it in here. And also you can find the Paranormal Lab on Facebook. And I don't think I put a link down below to the website because I did not find a website. Lisa, if you do have a website and others might like to know some information about it, if you would go on ahead and type that down below, and I'll make sure to put that in the comments and pass that along to everyone, okay? If you call Arcadia, Lisa just let me know that you, for the question of purchasing the books in a group set, that if you call Arcadia, you can usually make a group order. Okay, so you can call them and see about making a group order, and as to if they give any special price on that, I don't know. That would be completely something on the Arcadia side. I have no idea on any of that. Okay, now that we got Lisa on here, I'm curious, do any of you have any questions for Lisa and the process that she does when she was writing this book, how she obtained the information? Please go on ahead and ask some questions. I'm sure that, I let her know that you guys would probably be asking some questions, and she said she'd be more than willing to answer those. So if you guys have some questions for her, please do ask those questions. And I will go on ahead and look in here and point out that once again, there are photographs that are included in here in the book, in this book, that you guys can see. And there's some homes, there's something called the Black Room and a mansion that's there. So there are a lot of, and Missouri was right in the middle of it, guys. If all of you that are watching, I know most of you know about Civil War and the history of our country and the war and how it took place, and where Missouri was right in the pivotal, right in the center of all of it. So Missouri went through a lot. You're talking bushwhackers, you're talking the war. Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on here. I got stuff coming in. Website is being moved down right now. Okay. So in reference to if there is a website for the Paranormal Science Lab, the website is being moved. So it's being relocated, restructured. So it's down for right now. But I'm sure it will be up at some point in time. Brenda would like to know in reference, Lisa, this is a question for you in reference to the book. Is there an index to easily search for relatives in the book? And I am looking back here as far as to see if there's an index, and Lisa will be able to answer this quicker than I can, I guarantee it. Let's see. I don't know. I don't see an index of surnames in the book. So, Lisa, the question is there an index of surnames or a quick way to reference anyone who might be listed in the book? And I don't see that in here. That might be, though, in reading and looking through and scanning through here and looking at this. That's the whole fun of reading the book. Reading the book, Brenda, and finding out all the stories about those that are in the book. So then you can make notations on the side of those surnames that are in there. I don't see an index, and Lisa will let us know here in a little bit if there is an index that's available. I also have a message from Kathleen. Oh, wait. There's an index of surnames. Oh, she's asking if there's an index. What, Kathleen and Brenda, right now, I don't see an index of surnames in the book. Lisa, do you have a list of surnames for the books? And I hope, Lisa, you're still with us. I also have another question for Lisa, wanting to know if this is the only book that you have written, or if you've written any other books on the same topic. Okay. Let me go over here while we're waiting for Lisa to get back to us on that. Let me take a look over here. I have some more on Facebook that came through. And let me see if I can answer some of these questions, because I think I can answer some of these. I have Teresa, who's wanting to know if there are any books on Lake Erie. I would venture to say so. I have the website up over here, like I said a while ago. And let me see. There is, well, let's see. There is Erie in Pennsylvania, and then there's Erie, Florida. I don't see anything that's just titled Lake Erie on there. So no, I can't say that I'm seeing it right off the bat. Okay, and you want to know if I'll go through all, now, Teresa wants to know if I'll go through all of the titles of the book. That will take me a while. I can just tell you, let me just go over real quick and tell you some of the states that it covers, okay? Does that work for you guys? We've got Massachusetts, Ohio, Colorado. And when I say all of the states that these books cover, they don't cover the whole entire state. It's just areas within the state that have historical significance during that time. And it's not necessarily all war either. It's not... like, for instance, there's one called Capitol Hill Haunts. That one's in the District of Columbia. So it's not pertaining to, the Civil War, Revolutionary War. So the books in these series don't necessarily follow that same line. So let's see. You've got Oklahoma, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, Maryland, Missouri. There's another one. Let's see. There's Connecticut witch trials. You got Excelsior Springs, you got Florida, Washington, New York, Vermont, Michigan, Ohio, New Hampshire, Florida, Virginia, Kentucky, Colorado, let me see, New Jersey, Massachusetts, I think I've said some of those, Maryland, Texas, New York, Michigan, Nevada, Ohio. Okay, so there are a lot. I can't sit and go through every single one of them for you. I'm sorry, because I don't have the time to be able to do that. I do ask that you go on ahead and look over at Arcadia. Go click the link down below. And on that site, that's where I'm at right now. And in the search engine up on the top, you just type in Haunted America. And then it will pull up these books. Or you can go over on the side to where you can pick the categories. And you can pick, I think it's Haunted and Paranormal. And that will bring up all of the books within that category. So let me go back over here to YouTube, because we are popping through here really fast. Okay, so the question that we were waiting on is, so for those of you who are watching after this live show airs, I like to always tell you the questions that I'm reading, so that way you know what's going on and my responses aren't out there in a crazy world of you having no clue what I'm talking about. So the question was wanting to know if there was an index that was easy to find all of the surnames that are listed within the book. And this was in reference to the one in Southwest Missouri. And Lisa, who is the author of this book, she is on with us right now on live. And so she's answering some of these questions that are coming in. And Lisa says, in reference to the index of the surnames, History Press did not provide a time for that publication to be added in there, but there is extensive biography. Brenda was very happy to hear that, and I know Kathleen is happy to hear that. She said that she can provide. She has written Haunted. Oh, these are the books that Lisa has also written on top of this one here on Southwest Missouri. She has written Haunted Joplin, Haunted Carthage, Missouri, sorry. Missouri's Wicked Route 66, Gangsters and Outlaws on the Mother Road. Oh gosh, that one sounds... You're talking in Missouri. I have to admit, I have a connection with this one. Some of you know and some of you don't know, I am from Missouri, and I'm around the Southwest Missouri area. I've been around there often, quite a few times. So that's why I kind of laugh when it says the Gangsters and Outlaws on the Mother Road. Okay, so Brenda asked, she's related to John Proctor that was hung in the Salem witch trials. I bet he's a ghost, haha. He very well could be, Brenda. He could be a ghost. If he was hung in those witch trials. Okay, so I'm curious, how many, I'm watching here and seeing all of these comments come through, and it's really interesting to see that, and I like the idea of seeing that. I like it. I think it's interesting that those who do the research, who are into family history, family research, genealogy, and history itself, you're finding books like these to be very interesting. And I think that's good because, like I said earlier, these books not only hold that, I don't want to call it fascination with the paranormal, but they provide you with the historical information to back up and validate what other information that you find in here on some of the hauntings that take place there. So I think these are really good books. I think these are interesting. And myself, yeah, I'd like to have all 50 of them. I think that would be I would love to have all 50 of them to sit and read. Those would be good. Gosh, can you imagine the blog posts that I could do on diving in even further and doing research on them? Those would be so much fun to do. Okay, so, okay, we've been at this now for 27 minutes, and that is a good length of time. Do you guys have any more questions for Lisa? Lisa, I want to thank you so much for taking time to join us today and come in. You did this, and I know it was kind of a last-minute thing. I so appreciate it. And, again, links to the websites and everything are down below, so you guys go ahead and visit them. Remember that Lisa is part of the Paranormal Science Lab, and you can find them on Facebook. So I'm sure if you have any more questions, if you have Facebook, go over there and you can send her a message or post a question there on Facebook, and I'm sure she'd be more than happy to answer some of those questions, especially those of you who had questions that are in reference to the Missouri area. Brenda says that awesome on the books. Lisa, I have quite a few outlaws, etc. from the areas that you covered. Okay, Lisa, you might have a direct connection with some of the outlaws that you covered in your book with Brenda. So you two might want to get together and talk and kind of make for an interesting meeting. Maybe I need to have you guys on here so I can have split screens and have you guys interview and talk to each other back and forth. That might be kind of chaotic, but it would be kind of fun to see how that goes. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I so appreciate it. And remember, the links are down below, so for you guys to register, you just click the registration link and fill out the form. And all winners are going to be announced on December 13th at 6:30 p.m. on the same station here. Excuse me. And there's only one requirement to register for any of the giveaways that are going on during the 12 days of research, and that is that you sign up and register to receive the A. Radesky Genealogy e-newsletter. Now, there are, of course, additional ways for you to increase your chances to receive the different gifts that are being given away during the research giveaway, and that is by, for instance, giving me the thumbs up on the video, sharing the video, subscribing to my channel. That will also increase your chances. So when you click the link below and go to register, you'll see all of the options for you to increase your chances to register. And also down below are all the links to my social media sites. You'll see links also to the 3 books that I talked about today in today's video that are going to be included in this research giveaway, along with a link to Arcadia Publishing Company. Lisa, real quick, I want to let you know, Lisa said thank you for including her. Thank you, Lisa, again, and she'd be happy to answer any questions. So for any of you that are watching now or that are going to be watching later, I said earlier, Paranormal Science Lab is on Facebook. Go over and you can ask Lisa all sorts of questions on the research that she did on the book, and she'd be more than happy to answer those questions that you guys have. So I have the question that I always post at the end of the episodes, and this is the question that I'm sending out to you guys, and I'm really interested to hear what you guys are going to have to say. The question is, would you want to do a genealogical or historical research for books like these? And if so, do you have a location in mind that you would want to do the research on? So make sure you list that in the comments down below. And I want to thank you guys for watching the channel again, and continue to unlock those family stories. Bye.